Hi everybody! Have you ever wondered what different types of tanker trucks deliver goods to Starbase on a daily basis? And how much of each liquid can one of these tankers carry? And how many of them are needed to fill a GSE tank or even a Starship? These are some of the questions we're going to look at today, and I'm gonna try my best to answer them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's begin. Let's start with a quick overview of the different tanker trucks that we see on a daily basis at Starbase. Some of the most common types of deliveries are those of liquid nitrogen, followed by liquid oxygen and liquid methane. Apart from these, there are also other important deliveries such as oil, water, or liquid argon. You will notice that the trucks carrying liquid nitrogen and liquid oxygen look very similar, since both are painted white almost always. Or at least I haven't seen any that isn't and transports oxygen and nitrogen. I am not a full-time tank watcher yet, but I have watched enough to notice some of the companies that deliver these two cryogenic liquids to Starbase regularly. These are LGT Transport, Canon Advantage Group, and Legacy Cryogenic Transportation. These may not be all the ones delivering liquid oxygen and nitrogen, but at least I managed to get 3. Now let's have a look at liquid methane. The trucks transporting this cryogenic liquid have a distinct blue and green pattern and belong to the company Stabilis Solutions. I am not sure whether this is the only company delivering methane to Starbase, but it is the only one I've found so far. If anyone knows of another one, please do let me know in the comment section down below. These 3 types of tanker trucks deliver cryogenic fluids on a daily basis to either the suborbital tank farm or to the orbital tank farm. Except for the liquid methane, which so far has been delivered only to the suborbital tank farm, and that's why it's going to be kind of a big deal as soon as we get to see a tanker truck deliver methane to the orbital tank farm. Now let's have a look at the numbers. The orbital tank farm consists of 7 ground support equipment tanks, 3 of which are able to store around 5,400 metric tons of liquid oxygen. 2 other tanks are destined for the storage of around 2,400 metric tons of liquid methane, and another 2 will hold around 2,600 metric tons of liquid nitrogen. Finally, 1 tank will store water. By the way, I don't think these numbers are exact, but rather approximate estimations that will serve the purpose of this video. Liquid oxygen and liquid methane form the propellant mixture that Starship needs to run its Raptor engines, whereas liquid nitrogen is used for a variety of purposes, such as performing tests on the different vessels and also for subcooling the propellant fluids below their boiling points, thus significantly helping increase their density and hence the amount of propellant a Starship can carry. Now let's try to find out how many of these tanker trucks are needed to fill up a GSE tank, as well as a Starship, with the help of the Starbase CSI. These guys have made the incredible effort of providing us with accurate estimates of how much of each cryogenic liquid the tanker trucks are able to carry. Starting with the liquid oxygen tanker, it can carry approximately 21,000 kilograms or over 18,500 liters, and assuming a whole Starship, including booster, carries around 3,800 metric tons of this cryogenic liquid, that would translate into 185 liquid oxygen tankers needed for 1 flight. Equally, a GSE tank destined for liquid oxygen, which is estimated to be able to store around 1,800 metric tons of this substance, would require around 85 tanker trucks to be completely filled up. When it comes to liquid methane, 1 tanker truck is able to carry around 18,500 kilograms or over 42,000 liters, so SpaceX will need an approximate of 58 such trucks to fill a Starship plus booster. A GSE tank destined for liquid methane should be able to store around 1,200 tons, so that makes a roughly estimation of around 64 methane loaded trucks to fill up 1 GSE tank. Tanker trucks filled up with liquid nitrogen are able to carry just as much quantity as those carrying liquid oxygen, that is approximately 21,000 kilograms or over 18,500 liters. So to fill up 2 GSE tanks at 1,300 metric tons each, SpaceX will need to order around 123 trucks full of liquid nitrogen. After putting all these numbers together, we get a total of 243 trucks worth of propellant needed per single flight, around 5,000 tons divided into almost 4,000 metric tons of liquid oxygen and around 1,000 metric tons of liquid methane. These guys even went the extra mile and run the numbers on the estimated price per launch. On propellant alone, we would be looking at over $1,800,000, to which we would have to add over $600,000 more in liquid nitrogen used for testing the rocket before flight. Keep in mind that all these numbers are only approximations, but assuming SpaceX manages to launch 5 Starships to orbit this year, we would be looking at a total of 1,215 trucks of liquid oxygen and liquid methane alone, yielding over $9 million in propellant costs, without accounting for what SpaceX may also spend on liquid nitrogen for testing. It is also worth noting that SpaceX plans to generate a great deal of liquid oxygen on site themselves, so in time that would push the prices down considerably. Alright, there you go. I found this information really interesting, so I wanted to make a short video about it. Thanks again to all the people involved in putting together all this information. I will provide links to the social media down in the description box. I hope you found this video interesting and could learn a couple of new things. Thanks again for being here with me once again, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye bye.